Alright, today's video we're going to show you how to shave the gas door on the Astrovan. If you guys have been following this project, you know that there's other videos that we've done showing you the concept on how to shave door handles, how to shave the license plate pocket, how to French in the corner lights for the tail lights. A lot of different videos on shaving. So this, we're going to start here with the gas door, and I'm going to show you the concepts and the principles that you need to understand when you're doing this, building your plates and tacking everything in place, and make sure you don't warp the metal. Big part right there. You want to make sure you don't warp the metal. Okay, I'm back. What I'm going to do, I put the door back on just so I get a better feel for it. Okay, and then I'm going to start here at the bottom. Just going to tape this in place. You want to make sure this is as straight as you can get it without wrinkles. Okay, and then just overlap each piece. Like I say, try to make sure you don't have any wrinkles in it. You just want this sheet metal as straight as you can actually get it. Like I said in the other videos, if it's got creases in it, it just doesn't seem to lay good for me anyway. I want it to be as close to perfect as we can. No wrinkles to me. At least it shows you tried. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my marker and I'm just going to run right across the edge. And we're cutting this out of 16 gauge steel. Not 16 gauge, sorry, 18 gauge. Sorry, I'm trying to think here. Yeah, so 16 gauge steel is what we're going to use for this plate. The reason we want to use a thicker metal, just because this is going to be a whole side panel. Okay. Then I'm going to take my razor blade, and I'm just going to cut this out. Alright, got my razor blade. And what I'm going to actually do, since I got this inside piece in, I'm just going to kind of slide my blade inside and just kind of glide it along the metal. That way I know it's as straight as I can possibly be with it. Because I drew the line just as a reference, but I'm not following the line exactly. I just need to kind of know where the edge of the metal is, but I'm actually using the razor blade to tell me where the edge of the metal is. So I get a much straighter cut. Okay, and then once I'm done, then I can start pulling this off. And then this will be my pattern. Now it'll be a little bit big when I transfer it over to the sheet metal. It'll be a little bit bigger than needed, but at least that way I can trim the sheet metal down versus it being too thin. If it was too thin, then I have to start and do this all over again. So now I'm going to take it over here to the 16 gauge sheet metal, and I'm just going to transfer it over to that. I believe 16 gauge is going to run you around 40 thousandths on the micrometer if you wanted to mic it just to make sure. And that's factory metal is 16 gauge. So that should be plenty for you to do a filler panel. Alright, we transferred it over here to the metal. I'm just going to take a magic marker and just trace on the outside of the masking tape. Pretty self-explanatory. And this way you have a template that's almost exact. There will be some trimming involved, but very, very minimal. And so then when we start to cut, we'll cut right along the edge of the black line, but if you still see black, then what we do is we just trim it with the grinder until the black is gone. Then you know that it's right where it needs to be and it should fit perfectly. We did our first test fit, and I realized that it's just a little high in these spots, so I just hit it with the black marker where it's high, and so I'll just grind it down until I don't see the black mark anymore, and then it'll be almost an exact fit. Alright, what I did, I'm going to do some plug weld. That's why I put this rib in here. I drilled 3 holes, and so when I put this into position, I can weld these 3 holes right through that filler plate, right into this rib. Now this rib's going to help kind of give it this concave because it's not completely flat. So there's some fireworks for you. So I pulled this back to kind of give it a little bit of a bend, and then when I weld this into place, I'll tack the middle one first, then this one, then this one, this one, this one, and then just kind of back and forth so that when it welds, it's kind of welding out like this. So it allows it to cool and not shrink back. So go ahead and get started. Alright, so just finished up this filler plate on the license plate pocket. A lot of work to do to get this thing straight and ready. I've probably been working on this pocket with cutting the pattern, the template, getting it all out to specs, relocating the handle so that I can actually open the door. I've probably been on this about 6 hours. So dedicate some time if you want to shave these license plate pockets. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually build a fiberglass window or a plastic window, and I'm going to kind of French the license plate into the window, kind of old school. But that's all there is to doing this, so hopefully you guys learned something on this video. Please let me know in the comments what it is you learned, what you'd like to learn, different techniques. There's different ways to do this. This is just my technique. It's the way that I've learned how to do it from the body shops that I worked in, but there's all kinds of different things you can do out there. The most important thing, keep your heat down. You know, rotate your welds back and forth. I can't say it enough, like I've said it in this video over and over. There's no warping. This thing's still real straight. I'm not completely done. I still got to do a little bit more tack welding, but just take your time. Spend about an hour doing your welding so you don't have to repair the warping when you're done. I've made that mistake, and anybody who's shaved handles or any type of shave work, you know that if you get too much heat on there, you'll warp it. So just be careful when you do that. If you have any questions, just leave them down below, and we'll see you on the next video.